This is me playing a full set against world number 54 and ATP 250 champion Yibing Wu, and it didn't go as I expected. This week I'm training at the world famous IMG Academy, known for raising talent such as Agassi, Sharapova, Nishikori, and the list goes on. And I'm going to be showing you how I practice on and off the court in preparation for this showdown. Now, at the beginning of the year, I set myself the goal of becoming one of the best 1,000 tennis players in the world, and so chances to play against a player inside the world's top 100 players is a real opportunity to benchmark my level to see how far I've got left to go. And we're going to start on the Wednesday, the day before this session, with the strength and conditioning session with Jason. We went through a strength-based warm-up for a practice session I had on the first day of my trip. And this is actually when I first got told I was going to have the chance to play against the former Chinese #1 the next day. So I wanted to make sure that everything I did was in the build-up to having the highest chance to win that set.
It's tough grip, especially after you've been working out and your hands are already sweating.
It was then time to jump on court and practice with Jerry Shang's coach, Martin Alund, on the indoor because it was raining. Now, this session was mainly focused around getting a feel for the ball at the beginning of the week, striking up and down the middle, working really on the footwork, moving in and out of the baseline, staying solid on the strike, and also working on some top secret stuff that I've been doing during my off-season. We also worked on some volleys, really just making sure it was crisp, felt good towards the beginning of the week, and we also then transitioned into an approach drill. Whenever Martin sliced the ball, I had to approach basically first volley to him, second volley knock off, just working on that clinical finishing. But overall, it was a great start to the week and really to just get a feel for the courts, the conditions and the balls.
So guys, this is the racket I currently play with, the Dunlop CX200, and this is the Dunlop FX500, which I'm going to be testing out right now. I think it's the 500 Tour, and this is a racket which I've been recommended by so many players to check out. Draper, Popperin, Purcell, they all play with it. It's supposed to give me a lot more power. Yeah, I'm pretty excited to see how this plays, and if I do like it, this is going to be my racket of choice for 2025, so let's check it out.
Now, as some of you may know, I've been using the Dunlop CX200 racket for nearly 4 years now. But with this big test coming up tomorrow, I thought it might be time to test out something with a bit more pop, and oh boy did I like it. Now, if you want to watch the full review from this session, I'm going to be making a video on my second channel, linked down in the description. But this session left me so confident, in fact, that I was ready to use it the next day against Wu. Sitting here, enjoying my coffee in the morning, planning out some video ideas, and then we're going to head to the courts to get a good warm-up in, hitting with a very special player today. It's going to be fun to see what he's got. We then jumped on the golf buggy to head to the court and got ready with a full physical warm-up 45 minutes before the session to make sure that I was super locked in and ready. And then it was go time. One full set, no conditions. Now, for those of you that don't know Yibing, otherwise known as Jason, he was ranked 54 in the world and was the Chinese #1. He won the Dallas 250 against John Isner in the final. However, he picked up some nasty injuries after, causing him to kind of miss quite a few events. In October of last year, he did lose in the third round of the Shanghai Masters 1000 to Alcaraz, so he's definitely still playing a very high level of tennis. Also guys, we're on the road to 250,000 subscribers, so if you enjoy this content, then please go and smash that subscribe button. Before we jumped in, we had an extended warm-up, just hitting middle, volley, serves. But the one thing I would say is that the intensity that this guy was hitting at and the ball striking was very, very high. Now, he makes it look very easy without even trying, but I was really working, and you can't really tell on the video, but I was sweating a lot and breathing pretty heavy just for hitting up and down the middle. Now, some of that might be nerves, adrenaline and excitement, but it was also the fact that he was hitting such a good quality ball, and I had to make sure that I was in the right position every time. But I guess that's kind of what a warm-up is good for. So let's jump straight in, and a lot of you guys have been asking for some slightly longer highlights in my videos, so I'm going to be showing you every single point of this set, the ups, the downs, the good and the bad moments, to truly get a perspective of where the level's at. So going into this first game, I wasn't exactly sure what to expect. I knew he was quite a big hitter from the baseline, so I definitely wanted to kind of keep my service games and also mix it up every now and again. I was talking to the coach from IMG on the court, and he kind of said, you know, not a lot of guys are serving and volleying these days, so I thought, let's try and work on that a little bit in this session. See what I've got, obviously against a high quality opponent. Now, definitely the ball striking on the camera, it looks so much slower than it felt in real life. So that's the first thing I'd kind of just caveat by saying. Obviously, when you're at the court angle, it's a little bit different. But I did feel like I was moving around the court pretty decently, hitting a good ball. Especially when he kind of drew me out and put some pressure on me. It's quite tough to kind of get back into the point against these guys unless you hit a really good defensive ball. Now, I was super excited to kind of see in his service games, you know, could I find a break by just kind of hitting some good returns, or what would it take to break someone of this level? As you can see here, fairly decent start here at 1-1, just keeping it nice and consistent. Definitely trying to win these kind of first 2 points of each service game to try and kind of, you know, solidify, you know, the first few points. Again, forehand inside out, not quite going my way. I'm still figuring it out with this racket a little bit. It gives me a lot of extra pop. However, sometimes when it comes to those, you know, touchier shots, it's a little bit trickier, and some insane returns like that put me under some early pressure straight away.
I saw you playing the 250. I remember watching you then, I was like, damn, this guy can play. And obviously you've had a couple of injuries since then. Like, what's been the toughest thing, having an injury and kind of coming back?
Yeah, I think you just have to go through all the up and downs.
Yeah.
You know, you could have like really long career if you don't get hurt, right?
Yeah.
Like, let's say Roger, he played until he's nearly like 40, 50.
He's an anomaly though.
Yeah.
So obviously down a break 2-1, not the way I wanted to start. However, I did feel like I was kind of getting into the match a little bit more, getting my groove. And as you can see there, some returns were beginning to fire. I really like this new Dunlop FX 500 Tour for the returns. It definitely gives me a lot of pop and the serves. So definitely knew, you know, if I can keep playing my game like that, I'm going to find a few chances here. And, you know, I almost felt like, you know, I'm just warming up a little bit at the beginning of this set. Once again, a good volley play there to give me a break point, and I get a double fault. So back to 2-2 here. Good chance to try and now get ahead in this set. But definitely shots like that weren't helping, and just really trying to work on that serve 1-2. Definitely liking kind of the feel of coming forwards. Didn't work out every time, but I think, you know, trying to do the right thing is always the most important thing, because at the end of the day, this is also a, you know, a practice set that, you know, we're trying to work on things here. It's not the be-all or end-all Wimbledon final, so, you know, you always have to put yourself out there, try a few things that might not work, and also work on the things that you're not so good at as well.
If you win a big match, let's say you win a tournament, do you have like a cheat meal?
Depends on where I am.
Yeah, it's very
Yeah,
true. That's a good point.
I always want to like enjoy some local food.
Yeah.
Especially when you win a tournament, you know. After that, you just go
all in.
hang out. Yeah, just go hang out with the whole team. Let's say like a celebrate meal.
As you can see, carrying on with the theme of coming forwards, he nearly missed that shot, which kind of shook me a little bit. But really just trying to be aggressive like that with the forehand, definitely paying off. It almost seems like the more confident I'm playing, the better I'm playing. I think that's one thing, you know, a lot of tennis players can kind of take away from, is when you're really confident in your shots and you're doing the right things, you almost play better just because of it. And that would have been an insane volley. But committing to the wrong decision is sometimes better than not committing to the right decision. And I think that sometimes, you know, you have to be able to, you know, back yourself and obviously try to go for the right calls as well, because then obviously you have the highest chance of winning the points. In this game here, I think at 3-3 juice is a bit of a turning point, because, you know, as you can tell, 3-3 is a pretty pivotal kind of part in the set. Putting some pressure on him on that forehand side was working off pretty well. Backhand not going quite as deep as I wanted, but kind of bailing myself out there with the slice, mixing up the tempo.
Who's your favourite player?
Andy Murray.
Murray, yes, my guy. He's my favourite player as well. What about Murray? Do you have anything specific?
Yeah, I would say two things. Like first, like he's very strong mentally.
Yeah.
He goes through also like a lot of injuries. Second is like how he managed the things on court. He's like chess master.
Yeah.
On court.
For me, it's like he's always in a battle. Like every time I'm watching him, he's like, you turn it on, Andy Murray, 5th set.
ball shooting through crazily there on that slice. But again, on these kind of second serve returns, really just trying to do as much damage as possible. But as you can see, you know, the ball's coming through so quick. I wouldn't say I'm a slow player. So when you see me kind of sliding out to these balls, I'm really on the stretch. It looks a little bit slower than it, you know, really is. But as you can see here, Juice, great guess on that forehand side, just stepping up the court, you know, making him play here at, you know, my ad and getting away with it and going up a break and now serving for the set. And finishing it with the ace, a very solid set.
You having played some of the best players in the world, who would you say is the toughest opponent that you've ever played?
I would say Daniel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played him US Open third round. I was having like a couple injuries already because I started from police.
Yeah.
It's already five matches for me,
Jeez,
and he's like pretty fresh, you know, winning all the matches straight set. And I feel like he's just like a wall. He's for sure one of the best players on tour.
Anyway, I appreciate the session.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to watching you at Wimbledon maybe. Whenever you're playing, we're going to come support.
Perfect.
You'll see me in the crowd.
Perfect.
Vamos!
And so guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to check out my second channel video where I'm testing my new rackets. But with that being said, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys in the next one.